If Genesis is just a children's story, then explain this. Why did God erase every living thing on earth instead of just punishing sinners? Because sin wasn't the real problem. Something else entered the world. Most people read Genesis like a bedtime story. But the Bible doesn't begin with peace. It begins with rebellion. Tonight, you're about to see the side of Genesis that makes people uncomfortable, but explains everything. Stay with me. Genesis chapter 6 says, "The sons of God saw the daughters of men." Stop there. That phrase, sons of God, is never used for humans in Scripture. That it's used for angels. So ask yourself this question carefully. Why would angels come to earth? And why would God respond with a global flood? Because a boundary was crossed. These beings didn't just visit, they interfered. They produced offspring that were not fully human. The Bible calls them Nephilim. Giants, yes, but the real issue wasn't size. It was corruption. Humanity itself was being altered. Genesis says Noah was perfect in his generations. That doesn't mean morally perfect. It means his bloodline was still untouched. God didn't flood the earth only to punish sin. He flooded it to save humanity. The flood was not rage. It was preservation. Quick pause. If you've never heard the Bible explained like this, subscribe now. Because what comes next connects heaven itself to this story. This wasn't the first rebellion. The book of Jude tells us some angels left their proper place, meaning heaven had a fracture before Adam ever sinned. And at the center of it was a being named Lucifer. Lucifer wasn't created evil. Ezekiel describes him as a guardian cherub, full of wisdom, beauty, and authority. He walked among the stones of fire. He wasn't distant from God, that he was close. And that's what made the fall devastating. Isaiah records Lucifer's thoughts. "I will ascend. I will exalt my throne. I will be like the Most High." He didn't want God's power, he wanted God's position. That desire fractured heaven and spilled the war onto earth. This explains something shocking. When Satan tempted Jesus, he offered him the kingdoms of the world. That offer only works if authority had already been transferred, but it was never permanent. Genesis is not the beginning of religion. It's the beginning of a rescue plan. The Bible doesn't hide the truth. It reveals it slowly for those willing to look deeper. If this video made Genesis feel real, subscribe to this channel. We don't simplify Scripture here, but we uncover it.